getting it, fellas. Look here.
Get out your toothbrushes, folks. So fucking dumb and so great. So
dumb.
great, dude. Come on.
Don't forget your toothbrushes, folks. It's time for a sleepover with Jarhigo and Mulverine.
Cheese and crackers, Jarhigo. Oh, my God.
We're going to watch old, crappy movies and eat way too much popcorn.
That's right. Okay. You ready to fire or what?
I'm ready.
One for C-Lab, two for Jarhigo, three for Mulverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the power band. This is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, also known as the Mulverine, along with my intrepid companion, Ben, also known as Head in a Jar Higo. Yeah, baby.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
We are sans Chad tonight as he is doing something else. So,
Because he's slab.
he's
Missing.
missing in Slabshin.
Missing in slabshin.
Do you want to say it or should I say it?
What's that?
Grab your toothbrushes, folks. It's a twofer.
It is so stupid.
It's so great. Welcome to the show, folks. This week, Jar, Head, and Ahigo and I are tackling the 1989. This is definitely not a classic. Unfortunately, Trek movie, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, directed by William Shatner, starring William Shatner, starring Spock, starring Bones, and everybody else that we know and love.
Scotty. Uhura.
Sulu, Chekhov.
Yeah.
Let's get into it, high level, if there is
The Shat.
such a thing. The Shat.
The
The
Shat.
Shat. Somebody shat on this movie, man. I don't think it was Shatner, though.
Bill Shatner himself. This is an surprisingly enjoyable, titanically large and smelly piece of crap.
Well said, dude.
Yeah. I was expecting, like, I strangely kept enjoying myself, even though it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
That's good. I'll echo that. I kept watching it, like, as soon as it opened, I was like, this is a piece of shit. And then I was like, you know what, this is...
Oh my God.
and then I kept going. I was like, hey, this is pretty good. And then I was like, yeah, this is a piece of shit. And then I'd be like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is a piece of shit. So it tried so hard, man, you know? And to Shatner's credit, I do believe he tried very hard. And from what I understood in the readings, he didn't. This movie is not the movie he made. He made something that was a little bit longer, and apparently everything that was cut really kind of took some of the guts out of the movie, which is kind of a shame, man, because I would like to have seen like a kind of fully realized vision, you know, because he seemed to really kind of take it seriously. So it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that the movie is filled with lots of, zingy sort of dad jokes, etc.
Zingy dad jokes. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, I know there were problems, etc. Outside of kind of having a less than great script. I know there were major problems with special effects. They wanted to get ILM, but they were way too busy with a bunch of other shit, so they had some other company do stuff, and it was definitely questionable in a lot of spots.
Definitely was.
Definitely. But, I don't know how much of it is Shatner's fault. I feel like he did a decent job directing. I feel like the performances are good, notably Lawrence Luckinbill as Cybok. I thought he was really great.
Yeah, I always did.
You know, and then there's just like this, just the family, the main cast are great. You know, I mean, they probably don't need much direction at this point. They can just sort of do it in their sleeps.
I would agree.
But like you get a good sense of them, you know, camaraderie with them, etc. So
no, you're right. Yeah, go ahead, finish. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly just some shitty special effects, not a very good story, and not a very well executed story in terms of, you know, probably what they had to leave on the cutting room floor to try and, I don't know, shape this into something that they thought audiences would enjoy. Also, they were supposed to battle rock monsters at the end of the movie, which kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. But
doesn't. But it would have been cool because it sounds cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's like the thing that
Galaxy Quest.
It's the thing that Shatner like wants to like. He's been trying to get them to like redo the end of the movie, and they just will not.
No, they will
Like,
not.
he wants to do like the Shatner cut,
Yeah.
and it's just not happening.
Yeah, I know. I read that too. It's it's kind of a shame, but I mean, you know, we did get a giant rock monster in Galaxy Quest, which was probably
I wonder if that's where the idea came from.
Yeah, I kind of feel it's starting to feel like it was like a jab to Shatner, you know, like
Definitely. Oh yeah. I mean that's obvious, but I'm wondering if like the rock monster thing was a direct jab at this movie and Shatner.
It had to be, man. I mean, it must have been.
Fire-breathing rock monsters.
That would have been really cool. You know, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that it ties into the plot very
No,
well.
I don't think it ties into the plot at all, man. I just like the idea of rock monsters. Like, you know, like they're cool.
Yeah.
You know, the rock monster from Galaxy Quest, the freaking Magmite lords from City of Heroes. You know, those things are cool, man. Right?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right.
What was that group called?
With
the rock dudes and the mushroom dudes.
No, they're I know the individual names of them. I don't know what the group was called.
Right.
They're called
no, not the Devouring.
Not the Devouring Earth. No, you had the Magmite Lords, you had the Elder Pumacites, but I cannot remember for the life of me what they're called at this moment.
Well, nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about.
No,
anyway,
so we can just move right along. So I think let's stick on the effects for a minute, because
Sure.
I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't focus too much on that in terms of you know, lore and whatnot about the movie, but yeah, they're bad, man. You know, it's really from the sets to the weaponry to the visuals. Like it's bad, dude. I mean the scenes in space are bad. The barrier's bad. You know, the ultimate planet that they land on, Shakari or whatever, is terrible. I mean, it just looks like it was filmed in, you know, Afghanistan or out west somewhere in the U.S. Like, it's kind of beat, dude. The guns are terrible, you know. They were basically just like pipes with handles on them, and then like
pipes with handles.
Right? And then you notice that one had like, you know, that little teeny like pressure tank on it for you know,
yes, it was a super soaker,
presumably shooting water at Captain Kirk. Holy shit, dude! Or
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Those were awful.
That gun was so bad. Like, they looked fine in the beginning when they were kind of like, you know, get their weapons and we got weapons and blah 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 blah, and you didn't really get a close up of them. But then when Spock picked it up inside the shuttle bay, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, they could have got away with it, but then they just kept the fucking things in camera. So.
Yeah, they should have just kept them out of frame. I think that was the way to go there. So God, that was bad, dude. I mean, everything just looked, you know, kind of bad, man. I mean, I hate to say it, dude, because You know,
Yeah.
Star Trek has always been known for its production values and having.
No, and this was a noticeable step down in quality.
Oof, man, real noticeable, dude. Like I remember when the scene comes like right before they leave Nimbus 3, like the the Klingon ship is
Nimbus 3.
yeah, right. Nimbus 3, right? The Klingon ship is coming in, and you know the captain, who's like, and we can talk more about this later. He's like a Klingon version of Jason Momoa's Aquaman, dude. That is all I could think about when I saw that guy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Todd Bryant as Captain Twof.
Yes, exactly. Todd Bryant. So, like, when the Klingon ship comes in and fires on the Enterprise, like, you know, Chekhov's like, okay, warp speed now, and they take off, and it's like, it's the worst looking ship and warp effects I've ever seen in a Star Trek movie.
Pretty pathetic.
Oh, God, it was dreadful, dude. Dreadful. You know, I think,
Absolutely.
like, just so many things, I don't even know where to start. The barrier. Let's talk about the barrier for a second. Like, you know, like the concept and the idea, of course, you know, pretty cool, and we can, you know, talk about the story in a little bit, but like the barrier itself was like just a giant screen of like colored liquid.
Yeah, it was like the backdrop for like a, you know, psychedelic rock band in the 60s.
From the
like, with just like
70s.
just, you know, like, yeah, you just take some food dye and some water
Yes.
and like put it in like an overhead projector
Yes.
and just like make some weird ripples and
Mhm.
like, ooh.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it was, you know, then there was like, all right, let's superimpose the ship over that. Done. Next scene.
Yeah,
and it was
totally.
so bad, man. Holy
Okay,
shit.
drop some green in there. Ooh, yeah. And now some pink. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That was terrible, dude.
Uh-huh.
Really, really bad. Yeah. And then I've sort of griped about this a little bit, and some unfounded and some founded, I think, in the past, like just Nimbus 3, like
Nimbus 3.
stupid name, number one. Number two, just
So dumb.
I mean, it's just like it's like Libya, dude. You know what I mean? Or they were in Tunis, you know, like you know, cribbing off Star Wars. It was just terrible, man. Another desert planet with like mud huts.
Might as well have been Tatooine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
Tatooine, exactly, with like, you know, you get inside the quote city and there's neon lighting everywhere. It was just weird and fucking dumb, dude.
I'm just looking at speaking of, you know, this Nimbus 3 in this part. So Cybok's bald companion with the pipe gun, his name was J apostrophe O-N.
I know, I saw that, dude. I was like, really? On. But I mean, it's, and not only that, dude, but somebody already used that stupid version of that name, and that would be Martian Manhunter, dude, whose name is Ons. So fucking dumb, man. Both are dumb, and the fact that they sort of cribbed it off of Martian Manhunter is just really low rent, dude.
Big time.
Peak time.
Big time.
Peak time.
Nimbus 3, Ja'an, three-breasted cat stripper.
Did she have 3 breasts?
Oh, yeah. She had 3 boobs.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Cribbing off Total Recall.
They're like, I don't know. She kind of just looks like a lady in like kitty cosplay. What if we give her 3 breasts?
Ugh, God.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I didn't like the bar itself and the planet itself. Like one thing that's always been like, you know, there's sort of the differentiator, I think, between like Star Wars and Star Trek, at least back in the day, because those were like the 2 big space things, right? Was that Star Trek had like a very, you know, kind of everything was neat and tidy in terms of like order in the galaxy. You know what I mean? Like, the Federation was
Sure.
like evolved. You know what I mean? And like, to an extent, like the Klingons and the Romulans and the Vulcans and all the spacefaring races were all evolved, to a certain level, right? And there wasn't like lawlessness and like, junky shit and broken down this and like that was really for Star Wars, man. Like where you'd go to Mos Eisley and you'd see, broken down piles of droids and shit. You know what I mean? Like, so the bar and like the city just, it didn't really vibe in like kind of the Trek way for me. And it also was very antithetical to the whole idea of like, the planet of intergalactic peace. Like it just, the whole thing was wrong, man.
This lawless desert no man, like Mad Max no man's land is the planet of peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Known as Nimbus 3.
This is really terrible.
Yeah, I know. I feel what you're putting down there. I think at least at this, I feel like now, like modern Trek, like you see a lot more kind of, seedy areas and such.
Sure.
But I feel like
a little bit though.
This era of Trek was a little more, as you said,
right?
Orderly.
I mean,
at least that's how it feels.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There is a little bit of it, but it's like a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not like something you see. It's like when you watch Book of Boba Fett. It's like it's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like everything is very neat and orderly. Even the warrior like Klingons, it's like everything has its place. There's a reason for everything. Like, everybody does what they do, So, there's an order in society in each one of the societies. So like this planet and this thing, this whole vibe does not fit into this Star Trek cleanliness universe, dude. It's just dumb and it doesn't work. And then you go ahead.
At the very least, not on the fucking planet of peace.
I know.
Yeah.
And then and then, like I know we got kind of a little afield of the effects, but I guess this is still in the same camp. Like, the three representatives, like they're just hanging out at the bar all the time. Like, I mean, with the
I mean, as you
do, drinking and smoking, man. I mean, like,
sure.
Who the fuck smokes in the 23rd century, dude? Like, I mean, what's that all about?
I know,
right?
I know.
So circling back to the movie, just everything kind of had a cheapy kind of feel to it. The bridge of the ship looked really good, and the train.
But even the bridge of the Enterprise was kind of like truncated and
weird
and like weird.
Didn't it feel weird?
Yeah,
right.
It did. It felt like small, and like there were there were like stations around the edges, but there was like really only like one station in the center of the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, it was just weird.
Yeah, it was like
a weird layout.
Yeah, it was too open, and I think it's weird. Like, as a side note, I could not find any Star Trek movies anywhere, so I think they all have finally migrated to Paramount Plus to stay. And that being said, and I could be wrong about that, but I did find the 2009 Star Trek. So I started watching that yesterday, and then I was sort of going back and forth with these two movies, and like the bridge in this one kind of looked more like the bridge in the newer film. Like it had, I mean, aside from the technology, obviously, it was like it had this kind of too polished look to it, that was a little bit of a departure from enterprises of the previous films that we've seen. You know what I mean? So I'm sort of speaking to your comment. You know what I mean? It was just like too, I don't know. It was just off. Like you said, truncated. It looked too polished and too something. I don't know. It was weird.
No, yeah, it was just weird. There was like, it didn't seem like you had your typical layout of like, a weapon station behind, like the captain's chair, and then like, like a navigation sort of thing
Area.
out front of that. Like it seemed more
Yeah.
like there was just less of that. Like there was just like one station like in the middle. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
And then it was like somewhere between like OG Trek and like Next Generation. Like it seemed very, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but like a lot of beige and like industrial beige sort of panels, etc. You know, and like those shitty like reddish brown, orangey brown sort of outfits that they were wearing with the like weird little pile of marshmallow collars. Not an attractive era of Star Trek.
No, dude, I
Just,
get how, like, you know, going from the original series, these uniforms kind of made a little bit more sense, and they had a more kind of military formal look to it, which I dug. But the marshmallows, the marshmallow collars, dude, you're right.
The weird little like turtlenecks that look like a pile of marshmallows.
Yeah, no, just not a great thing, dude. But
and like, you know, like rusty reddish brown velour jackets, you know.
Yeah. Not quite burgundy. You know what I mean?
Like burgundy, but with like a little bit of orange in it, you know. Like that's it's not a nice color palette.
I know, and then and everybody's wearing the same color. Like, what happened to the color distinctions, man? You know?
Yeah.
Just
I never understood why they went that direction with the movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the first one, they had completely different uniforms. In fact, in the first film, they had uniforms that we never saw again, thankfully, because these these marshmallow collared uniforms are definitely better than those.
Yeah, but the first one, they had like the like beige uni like onesies, basically. Right? Like,
it was kinda, just it was a really bad scene. It was like kind of a lot of a lot of draping, a lot of draped fabric, you know, like nothing was tucked in, you know, it was just shirts are hanging out, and it was like kind of, you know, free love in 70s, man, kind of thing, you know. I don't know, dude. It was bad. But you're right about the uniforms, and you're definitely right about the bridge and the industrial beiges, man, because you know nothing heralded the arrival of the 90s and Star Trek: The Next Generation more than industrial beige, dude, which was used everywhere.
Yeah.
And interestingly,
I want everything to look like the future, like the color of a Windows desktop computer. I want everything to look like an IBM.
I actually have the movie paused up on the TV, and it is a little shade of beige, dude. There's some red and black in there, but
yeah.
It's weird. And I mean, you know what's kind of ironically funny about the comment you made about the beige is that apparently all of the hallway scenes in this movie were the Next Generation Enterprise sets. They used those sets.
Really?
Yeah, they did. Because that show had just begun filming in '89, because that's when season 1 came out. I forgot that it goes back that far. And they utilized those sets. They did not change them very much because they didn't want to be disruptive to the filming of the show, apparently. But yes, those are the Enterprise D from the show sets.
Huh.
Right? That's a nice little nugget.
That is a nice nug. Yeah, they looked kind of familiar.
Right?
With, you know, Scotty bonking his fucking head.
Yeah, that was freaking great.
Oh, I know this ship like the back of my...
So I mean, that was like a dad joke in motion, dude. You know what I mean? Like if there could be a physical representation of a dad joke, that was it.
It was stupid, but I still
I did too. I did too, man. Oh my god, dude. This is just the dialogue in this movie is really pretty dreadful.
Yeah. There's some
Just in terms of like, there's too many crappy jokes like that with the cast interacting. Like we're all about humor here on the show. All the folks at home know that. But I mean, when you put this up against Voyage Home, which we all loved and universally agreed is quite possibly the best of the movies. That movie is funny as shit. In fact, I remember myself specifically, but the rest of us commenting on how goddamn funny it was, man.
Yeah.
And this is just not.
Yeah, I laughed anyways.
I did too. But you know, the humor, and like you can see where they were trying to do a bunch of jokes, and it was just like, yeah, that didn't work out so good right there. You know what
I mean, it's just that it's like, it's kind of, you know, it's like, you know, Kirk fucking free climbing and like,
oh my God. Spock's in his fucking jet powered ski boots.
Spock in his jet powered ski boots and fucking Bones on the ground, fucking cursing. God damn it.
Cursing
fucking green flooded.
Cursing a blue streak because he's all
Yeah,
nervous.
it's just absolutely.
Right?
It's just ridiculous. I mean, just the just like perm haired Shatner.
Perm haired Shatner. Yeah,
like,
go
you know,
ahead.
like at his age here,
Yeah.
like, you know, like trying to convincingly, like, you know, climb a sheer fucking rock face with no fucking ropes or anything. Like, the premise is just ridiculous.
Oh, so ridiculous, man. And you know, again, I would love to see what the actual full cut of the movie would have been, because I think it would have tied, and this is a theory of mine, is that it would have tied together everything in the movie. You know what I mean? Because, like, quite honestly, in its current form, it's like, just skip the shore leave, dudes, or do something different. Like, I don't want to, like, the Capitan thing and the fucking Franks and Beans, the marshmallows, the row your boat, like, all of that stuff was just like, come on, dude. No, it was just kind of terrible. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so if,
Sorry.
what? What?
Dude, it's awful, but I love the whole like campfire thing, especially when fucking Spock breaks out his little like single use like I don't know marshmallow fucking dispenser.
Yes.
You know, it's like electronic device that just like whoop,
Yeah.
like just pops out.
Now it is time for roasting marshmallows.
Now it's time for roasting marshmallows. Oh,
I love how
God.
it has, but it has no, like, wouldn't you think some kind of high-tech marshmallow device would have, especially a futuristic one from the 23rd century, would have some sort of built-in skewer.
Toasting apparatus?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, a skewer of some kind, toasting apparatus that would either,
I just
what?
No, I love that it's not a portable replicator or, you know, any such thing. It's literally just a device that dispenses marshmallows. It's no other purpose
I love it.
whatsoever. It's just for marshmallows.
And that is just, it's great. That's such a it's such a science fiction movie thing, dude. You know,
Yeah.
You know, a single device for doing one stupid thing. That's just, you know,
Yeah,
They probably spent, you know, $1,000 on it. It's so stupid, man, for that
so dumb.
2-second shot. You know, I mean, come on.
And the thought that somehow, like, you know, they like everybody had to pack, and somehow Spock was the one that was like, it would be illogical to leave without marshmallows, you know, and like it's like concocted some machine to like
Exactly.
conjure marshmallows.
Right? I will be the camping hero.
Bourbon and beans, an explosive combination.
It's so good coming into my mouth. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
I can't start the day without a juicy marshmallow in my mouth.
I just heard, I just listened to John Wick 4 when you were doing that in the beginning. It was so great.
I've beaten the world of acting,
And
now I'm going to be the world of breakfast
I
sausages.
love that so much.
Yeah, that whole sequence with them at like you know, whatever
Yosemite.
fucking Yosemite is just ridiculous.
It is. I mean, you're right.
but delightful as well.
Yeah, it's definitely got a delight to it, but it is.
Yeah.
It's just dumb, and it's, you know, it just goes on too long. It takes up too much time.
Yeah.
In a movie that, is pretty high concept, man. You know what I mean? And like it would have been
totally
better spent, because like I see what he was trying to do and what they were trying to do in terms of the story, and it's like, okay, you've got a pretty cool premise about a religious zealot, and they explain why he's doing what he's doing, like he he was a Vulcan scholar who like studied his way all the way through the logic and was like, there's got to be something more. So he moved on to emotion, and then he was like, there's got to be something more, and then he's like on this quest to find, the higher being, man, so like all of that is all well and good, you know what I mean? But they should have cut out the camping scene to add more room for, scenes and exposition about that, which I think would have been way more well spent, right?
I mean, but they had to round out the movie with row your boat. So how are you gonna do that without the callback?
You can't. You're
gotta...
right. What am I thinking, dude? We wouldn't want to push forward this great story.
I mean, I get what they're doing there, and I like the quiet moments with the crew kind of stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, to spend a shit ton of time there and at the expense of spending it elsewhere to create a little more cohesive of a plot, then I don't know. I think the audience must have liked that part though. Apparently, the way this movie went was they tested it and then butchered the shit out of it until people liked it.
God, it's tragic.
Until at least got an okay rating.
Terrible.
Maybe the other shit was even worse.
I guess. I don't know. But I mean, like, I have it paused at minute 16 right here, and they're still down on the planet. And that doesn't wrap up for like another 5 to 15 minutes. So, yeah, it's a lot of...
No, it goes on and on.
Yeah. It just goes on and on. Totally.
I mean, they could have skipped like the rock climbing bit and just, had them like hanging out around the campfire.
Well, cut to the quick.
That would have been
fine.
Yeah,
right? Like, cut to the quick. I mean, if you're trying to do a bit about people bonding, right? Like, I get it. And, what's important in life and all of that kind of thing, which is sort of the theme of the movie, and the nature of God and this, that, and the other, right? So, yeah, just cut to the quick and do the campfire scene and keep the marshmallow dispenser in and all the sort of Spock fish out of water goofiness, it's all well and good, and then just move it along, man,
Yeah, it's almost like the whole rock climbing thing exists so we can call back to that when the rocket, ski boots appear later in the movie.
Oh God, right, yeah.
And, another marshmallow joke. Must have eaten too many marshmallows.
So bad. So bad.
It's almost like the whole sequence just exists for callbacks.
Yeah,
later in the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But wait, why are we writing this scene again? Because I'm going to reference it later, and it's going to be hysterical. Okay.
It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, okay, Bill. All right. Oh my God. Those and the ski boots, man. Again, back to the the effects and the props and the sets and all that. I mean, Jesus. It would have been way better if they had just done something like the City of Heroes jet boots, man, and freaking moved on, dude. They could have like painted some soup cans and strapped them to the sides of some kind of boots, dude, and it would have been better than that,
Than like literal ski boots.
Yeah, than literal ski boots, exactly. And then the other thing too about the climbing, man, was that they even went so far as to get a stunt man, to perform a descent drop. Right? He did that fall. You know what I mean? So it's like going to all of that trouble to do all of that shit for that scene that they should have just cut the fuck out of the movie. They should have just cut that entire thread out of there, because it sounds lengthy and expensive.
It probably was. Yeah. we should have been on this movie.
I know we should have. We should have been producing, dude. Or show running, or the equivalent of show running. We could have just
we could have saved them some trouble.
Yeah, tighten this fucker right up. So, and I think part of me saying that, Ben, is because, when we get to, they do spend a lot of time like on the planet, kind of like, okay, we're here to free the hostages. No, we're taking you as hostages, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
They spend so much time on all of these things that, like, when we finally get to, okay, we're flying to the center of the galaxy. Oh, no, it can't be done. Oh, no, it's not going to happen. All this kind of thing. Like, I remember that being like a longer part in the movie, but it was not, man.
No.
It's like 5 minutes.
It's like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Which was really disappointing, man. Like, my recollection was like them being on the ship for a good amount of time, like, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes. And like Cybok is going through all of the whole thing of let me take away your pain. And, the whole conversation about pain and how it shapes who we are and all that stuff, which was great. Right. That seemed much longer, but like the whole sequence in this watch seemed like 10 minutes.
It's barely anything. And it's really kind of unceremonious how everything flops out there,
right?
Like it just sort of becomes like a nothing burger. Like,
yeah,
Kirk ends up just back in control of the ship, and like nothing's really made of anything,
right?
That happens.
No,
it's just like, huh?
I know, and it's like they had a conversation that was never resolved, and then Kirk's kind of like, all right, I'm not on board with you, but I'm not going to try to kill you either. You're kind of cool,
yeah.
It's just like, you're right. It was a nothing burger. Like that whole part of it went nowhere. There should have been a better connection between the pain and the whole idea of finding God.
Yeah. No, nobody even talks about it again, really. Like all these people like had these,
awakenings,
approximations of a faith healing or whatever from Cybok, and like are seemingly changed, but then suddenly just kind of go back to being normal without like ever bringing it back up again.
Yeah, this should have been more of a central sort of feature, because my recollection was that it was, man. Like he did like his like sort of mind meld thing or whatever with like the Klingon general and the Romulan emissary and all these different people like McCoy and the on guy. On, but. Yeah, you're right. Like it should have been like woven in more. It was like it just kind of fizzled, and that was that, And even
no, it just
what?
It just fizzled. Even the crew members that went through it didn't seem to have any. Like it was just like never mentioned again.
Right. It was like Sulu kind of got on board with him, and so did Chekhov. And they're like, hey, and so did Uhura. They're like, oh, Zybok will explain everything. Everything's cool. Listen to Zybok. And then a couple scenes later, they're just like, all right, what are we doing? And then Sulu's right back to, aye, Captain, setting course for Rigel 7.
Oh, my God. I actually kind of got a kick out of Sulu and Chekhov on this and their shenanigans.
Same. They were definitely getting up to some shenanigans, dude.
They were definitely getting up to shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you probably read about this as well, about the inspiration for this was like televangelists.
Really?
Like Shatner. Yeah.
No,
Shatner was like, Shatner was basically wanted to do a story about like, televangelists and sort of their shysteriness of trying to sell people something that they can't deliver. So Cybok was his sort of central figure there, and then all the way to like going to find God, and it's not what need does God have of a spaceship? Like that whole thing, like, it's like was sort of meant to be an allegory for that.
Yeah. Kind of disappointing that you said that, because everything I had worked up in my head was like a lot better than that.
Nope, that was it.
That's really upsetting.
It was meant to be a commentary on, televangelists and, sort of televangelists being
false
snake oil salesmen.
Yeah, right. That's it. I don't know. I don't know. Cybok wasn't really a snake oil salesman,
No, he genuinely believed in whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it turned out to not be a thing, but he was committed to it.
Well, he
thought he was doing something good,
right? And then
he wasn't
yeah,
just trying to manipulate people.
exactly. And like he also had like a very real thing that he was doing with people to help them, in confronting their pain, to kind of release it and let it go and move on. You know what I mean? Which is an actual thing. I mean, this is like a thing that humans do all the time, every day. You know what I mean? So,
sure, that's like the core of a lot of therapy.
It is exactly the core of therapy. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's like all that stuff was very cool, man. So, I don't know. It was more like he was sort of portrayed as the snake oil salesman, but it was really the creature in the center of the galaxy that was false or whatever.
Yeah, it was a, quote, God, unquote. That was the shyster.
Right.
And I again, it was like the inspiration for it. It's not a literal translation here.
Yeah, fair.
And if anything, Cybok was a pretty compelling character and likable,
Agreed. On all fronts, yes.
Like, Lawrence Luckinbill was great. And I really don't know him from anything else.
I was trying to think what I've seen him in. I know I've seen him in something, and I just can't put my finger on it.
He seems vaguely familiar,
right? He does.
That's all I can say. I know. The only movie I'm looking at that I recognize is Cocktail.
Oh,
outside of this one,
was he like the douchey dad of like Elizabeth Shue or something in that movie?
He was Mr. Mooney.
Is that?
I think the dad.
Okay, yeah, because I don't recall that.
Elizabeth Shue was Jordan Mooney.
Oh, well, there you go. It's got to be the dad.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. And I can't even picture it.
I can't either.
I can't picture him in my head at all. So
be it.
But he was really good here. He was like, I was charmed by him.
I was charmed by him as well. He had a very positive attitude.
Yes.
To a degree that you don't see often. And it's also was very genuine as well.
Yes.
You meet those people that are, like, hey man, everything is awesome. And it's like, that everything's not awesome. You know what I mean? And then there's every once in a while you will meet somebody that is like power positive. You know what I mean? Like they are just moving through a different stream. You know what I mean? Like completely.
Sure.
And go ahead.
And just like he's just struck me as genuine.
That's what I mean. Like somebody that's truly positive and truly has power from it and like are sort of bulletproof within it and in a completely genuine way. It's not self-serving, or anything like that. You know what I mean? And that's
the polar opposite of a televangelist, really.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's the thing. And like I really got that vibe from him too. When I was young, when I watched this, and now when I watched it, it didn't change in any way. And as crappy as the movie is, like it kind of holds up exactly as it was. Like I know it's a super weird thing to say, but I don't know if it makes sense, but like it holds up within itself. You know what I mean? Like we've watched other movies from like the 80s and the 90s that did not hold up and did not look good and all of that kind of thing. Like this still just kind of looks the same, but it was like
crappy special effects aside.
It's like crappy.
There is some good cinematography in this for sure.
Agreed.
Special effects aside, like I forget who the cinematographer is, but he I think was responsible for like Mad Max and some other really good stuff.
Okay.
So the film work is great.
Yeah.
And there's some decent acting here. And like I don't think Shatner was like a bad director per se, because the performances are good.
They are. Including his own.
The jokes are bad, but the performances are pretty good. They're solid.
And I gotta say, dude, that like just sort of piling on top of that, like I think because he directed this, he was less like his sort of goobery sort of.
There's a little less Shatner shtick going on.
Thank you. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like all the funny whatever. I think he was really taking the whole endeavor seriously, man. So that sort of translated to when he stepped in front of the camera as well, dude. I don't know, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. It's funny. Everybody's genuinely funny, and like the drama bits are good too, man. I was very impressed to read that Nichelle Nichols did that entire feather fan dance herself, dude, as she is a trained dancer and singer. That was impressive.
She did, and she actually sang a number.
Correct.
But they cut it out and used something else instead.
And she was fucking pissed when she found that out. And rightly so.
Yep.
Oh my God. I would have been, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a funny little bit with her doing the doing the fan dance to distract the guys.
Oh, boys. Yeah. I was like, really, dude? I was like, it worked.
Yeah, it totally works.
Of course.
Totally works. Beans and bourbon, an explosive combination.
Jim, Spock, Jim.
Good old Leonard McCoy. What was up with the hinting at Scotty and Uhura?
What do you mean?
There were some hints at like Scotty and Uhura like hooking up.
But they weren't they? They were an item like in the show, weren't they? Or am I just fucking remembering everything incorrectly?
You could very much be right, and I just didn't remember. It was that's the first I was like, oh, that's neat.
I feel like we had some of that in one of the other ones too, man. Like the.
And it's like I don't remember anything in like 4,
No, I don't either, man. And I'm trying to remember if I remember anything from The Undiscovered Country, but I don't.
All right, what else?
Shit, I don't know. What time is it? It's time. I'll tell you what time it is. It's time for Bits and Bobs.
Okay, great. I love it.
All right. So before we go into Bits and Bobs, let's just touch on the god creature and the end of the movie. Thoughts on that before I give my own?
Thoughts on it. Well, it becomes abundantly clear that this thing isn't isn't a god. As what need does God have of a starship?
Why would God need a starship?
But clearly, this thing had been calling to Cybok the whole time. So I don't know. It was just
wait. It had?
Well, he knew, he had this vision that it was
shit. Okay. Yep.
So I don't know. It's an interesting sort of a Wizard of Oz-ish sort of ending to the thing where
right.
They find God, but God turns out to be like a isolated, crazy energy alien that just wants to escape and doesn't give a fuck about anybody.
Man, that's so weird. I was going to bring up that Wizard of Oz comparison as well. I'm kind of surprised that you thought of that as also, and sort of not surprised. It did have that kind of feel to it, right?
Yeah.
And it also had a very similar disappointment.
Right.
As well, give me your ship. I need to get out of here. I was like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of a letdown, man.
A letdown, but it makes sense, and it kind of gives Cybok a chance to redeem himself for any wrongdoing he might have done by sort of sacrificing himself to let everybody else get a chance to get away.
Yeah, but I was also kind of bummed out about that too, man, because he's so, as you said, charming, so likable. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it really would have been great if he had just been able to kind of, get over the letdown of that and just kind of go through the galaxy like Caine from Kung Fu, but just healing people and shit and
Just walking the galaxy.
Yeah, walking the galaxy, man. Like, helping people, man. Helping people, right? Like Caine, right? But,
Sure, yeah.
like that would have been pretty pretty cool. I'm like
Caine or Bruce Banner. Or...
Caine Bach, Bruce Banner, right? Exactly. Well, how are you going to help me, Mr. Banner? Well, I'm going to freak out and turn into a giant green rage monster, and then I'm going to, kind of just crush all your problems. So I think that, it was a bit of a letdown, like, I don't know, trapped on the planet. Like, who trapped him there? Like, how did he get there? Like, I don't know.
No explanation for any of this.
Yeah, but those questions are very interesting. You know what I mean? And would have been interesting in a Star Trek movie, maybe. So not unlike some of the Children of Men questions as well, dude. So yeah.
Where some of the Children of Men stuff might have been artfully left to create questions in your head. This, I think, probably
deliberately,
could have benefited from. Oh my God, that pipe gun is awful. Sorry, I'm just looking at a picture of it right
so
now.
Bad, dude. It really, really is bad. And the little tank on the top is like really terrible and way too small.
Are you going to smoke out of that?
Yeah.
It's like some kind of like fucking... Some kind of a future bong / steamroller type situation.
Bong and a super soaker, dude.
Is that why everybody was so silly through the whole movie?
Yeah, because they fucking squirted everybody with bong water, dude.
And I totally just lost my train of thought by noticing that. But
you were saying that, and we were agreeing that in Children of Men, the leaving out of various different things was deliberate by the director in the sense that he wanted the audience to be able to kind of decide on their own and figure those things out. Whereas here, not only was it sort of unintentional, but it would have definitely lent more to the story, I think is where you were going there.
Yeah. And it's just sort of waved away,
Yeah, waved away with a hand. Like Aenea, right?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Right. All right, so, yeah, whatever. Yeah, the ending is just a letdown.
It's kind of, I don't know. They blow away, they blow away alien god impersonator with a bird of prey.
Yeah, I would like to apologize for my behavior.
There you go.
Jason Momoa is
straight into bits and bobs.
Yeah, there you go. So pretty cool. This
Captain Claw.
Captain Claw. I did like when Spock was like, "Damn you, sir, you will try."
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "I'm just a foolish old man." I like that. It was a nice little exchange.
Yes.
Just a foolish old man. Damn you, sir, you will try. Okay, so yeah, go.
Still stuck on Captain Claw here.
I'm telling you, man, like the second that guy came in and started, he's just got like so much energy, that like kind of Klingon energy, and it just reminded me of Momoa, or at least the version of Momoa that lives in our heads. And
Momoa that lives in your head,
right?
Totally.
Like I was waiting for the guy to just like smash a whiskey bottle or some Klingon alcoholic beverage equivalent on the ground, like, dude, I'm gonna kill me some Kirk,
I had the distinct sensation that after he was done doing what he was doing, he was going to go and like, I don't know, like go like base jumping or like like kite surfing or like some extreme sport, like maybe riding his Segway in a half pipe. I don't know, but this is like he had that vibe,
He did, dude, right? Like he would be kind of kite surfing, but instead of a board, it would be like the back of a live Kolar beast or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Klingon equivalent of extreme sports, which probably involve doing something with some sort of hyper dangerous creature, you know,
making a kite board out of some venomous, you know, like
Serpent.
turtle-like species
Yeah, there
or
you
something.
go.
Yeah.
Turtle-like species. Good, I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. He just had that sort of, you know,
Right? Extreme vibe.
like he might have been like one of the alternates on like you know, in like Point Break on like, you know, Johnny Utah's bank robbing team.
Definitely, dude. Definitely. He was the guy. He was there, but like he left right before they started the point in the story that where Johnny Utah comes in, so we don't get to see him. But he was one of the guys originally.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like he also had like a
Yeah, we used to have a Klingon on the team. Guy was fucking scary.
He only lived to get radical, man. Dude, he also had like a really crazy fro-y mane of hair, dude. You know, like I don't know. I don't
Definitely, yeah.
I remember a couple of Klingons having hair like that, like Gowron, but like on DS9, but like not many, you know, and I feel like I know the standard Klingon uniform is like sort of like a vesty, a leathery sort of Planet of the Apes-y circa 1970s vesty top. But like I feel like him and his first officer, the woman who was like fucking super hardcore.
So buff. Holy smokes.
Shit, right? And then I feel like they were like, I don't know, they're pioneering some new sleeveless, shirtless look. Right? Like I don't recall seeing that before.
No.
And in this one, it was like, you know, and I think that's what gave me the Momoa vibe when the guy walked in, man. You know, was, you know, when we get that first scene with him is that, you know, he's shirtless underneath his leathery sort of vest.
Right. And he's only missing like the tribal tattoos and shit.
Yeah, exactly, man. Wow, he really is he is exactly that. He's like a Momoa Klingon who is like the fifth member of like the Bodhi bank robber crew, dude.
Totally, dude. He's sponsored by fucking Monster Energy Drink. Fucking Mountain Dew Code Red and Red Bull.
No, dude, Extreme Mountain Dew, because this is
Extreme
almost
Mountain Dew.
from the 90s, dude.
Mountain Dew Nitro.
Mountain Dew Nitro. Dude, now all those soft drinks are coming with like booze in them, man.
I've only seen
Or one of them is at least.
I've only seen the Sunny D, the alcoholic Sunny D.
Oh no, there's that, and then there's at least one more. Like it's something like, I don't know exactly what because I don't remember exactly, but it's something like a spiked kind of Mountain Dew.
That sounds dreadful.
Fucking sounds vile, dude.
That sounds awful.
It sounds like exactly like the thinking of like a giant amorphous corporate fucking machine, dude, but it just sounds vile.
That sounds like blackout drunk and wide awake.
Oh man, holy shit. Right?
Yeah. Bad news.
Remember when Red Bull first came out, man, and everybody was we were all drinking it, dude. I remember I blacked out and I never black out.
Yeah. I had a similar scenario, I think on like, I don't know, my 28th birthday or something.
Oh my God.
I got like Red Bull and like, I don't know, Absolute Mandarin or something. And I was like, I was like awake until the wee hours and I remembered very little of it. It's like wide awake and blackout drunk.
Yeah, dude. It's scary. Really scary.
Bad news.
I did some things that were just not cool. And I'm a cool guy.
I think I just made an ass out of myself more than anything, but probably talked at people too much.
Yeah, 100%, man.
That's about it.
100%.
Yep. So here's the Captain Claw.
We love you, bro. We love you, bro.
Yo, bro. Sick vest, bro.
Sick leather vest, bro.
Oh my God, this the picture. Like if you click on the character Captain Claw, there's a picture of Shatner directing him, and he's sitting in his chair with his sleeveless vest, and he's got some like Gene Simmons fucking like clawed demon boots on.
Whoa, wait a minute, dude. Where are you seeing that?
Are you on IMDb right now?
Oh, no, I'm on Prime. I thought you were talking about X-Ray. I am on IMDb.
No. If you're on IMDb and you actually click on the character of Captain Claw, there are two pictures, and one of them is a black and white.
The character
Like behind
of
the
Captain
scenes.
Claw.
It's pretty dope.
Pretty dope.
What is up with the periscope on a bird of prey?
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that, man?
What is up with that?
Fucking ridiculous, dude.
I just no view screen. They just do everything by radar unless they need to see something, and they pull out the periscope.
Oh,
the space periscope.
Shit, yeah. I know, dude. What? That makes absolutely no sense. Hold on. Now I'm captivated by this photo.
That's a cool photo.
Oh, that is a cool photo, dude. He looks very sort of Thor-ish. Hang on, I'm trying to like hold my headphones together and negotiate the mic and look at this picture. Hang on.
He looks like Gene Simmons.
He does. He kind of looks like Thor mixed with Gene Simmons.
And Shatner looks like
somebody that's like actually he looks like a director.
He looks like Terrell from
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. His glasses on.
A little bit, yeah, definitely.
What do you think he's saying there?
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch my hands.
Your hair is already big enough.
And he's looking down at the ground. He's like, okay, dude. Yeah, I got that, dude. All right, yeah, I'm feeling you, dude.
All right. Yeah, I'm feeling you, dude.
I'm feeling you, bro. I'm feeling you, dude. If you go to the next...
Hey, Bill, you think I can get another Mountain Dew over here?
Hey, can I get another Extreme Mountain Dew in here, bro? Oh, yeah. Dude, the next picture has a fucking sweet close-up, dude. His makeup is excellent, man.
Yeah.
And he's got a great chin goatee with a short Fu Manchu. Fuck, that's a sweet stash, man.
He kind of looks like Theo Vaughn.
Kind of, yeah, man.
The comedian.
Yeah. A little bit, but there's another picture of Shatner directing him as well. It's even more intense.
Yeah. I want you to look at my hands.
Look over here. I'm traveling back in time. Todd, look at me. I'm traveling back in time to a different scene in the movie. So, I'm
traveling back in time to 1980. Wait, sorry, that was the previous movie.
Oof, man, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pictures in there. Yo, hey, Bill. Hey, Bill, do we have somebody that can get me another Extreme Mountain Dew, bro?
It's like, I need more intensity. No, sorry, Bill. I'm kind of having a sugar crash over here. Is somebody back there and give me another Extreme Mountain Dew?
Bill, I got to be honest with you, man. If you want more intensity, I'm going to need another one of those fucking Extreme Mountain Dews.
Oh, man.
Whew. Okay. Any other bits and bombs?
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to add any more to it.
I don't know either, man. Well, if you say no, the ending, the end is going to wrap up very quickly.
That's true. I don't know. Everything's kind of eradicated from my head. Chekhov and Sulu, two different things. One, them following Spice Williams around and
yes,
commenting on her physique, and them pretending to be stuck in a storm. It was completely stupid, but also pretty funny.
I was going to bring that up earlier, and then I got sidetracked by some of the thing we were talking about. But God, dude, Chekhov is doing the stupid wind noise. Which just
so dumb.
It's so dumb. It might be the fucking best part of the movie, dude, and the funniest.
Yeah. Oh, look, the sun has come out.
That's such a stupid check-off shit thing
dumb.
to say, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's you trying to play it cool. Oh, we seem to be stuck in a storm here.
I'm picking up some kind of subspace anomaly, Captain. Yeah, that's about all I got.
That's fine. It's great.
Okay.
We
Well,
don't have to go nuts here.
we don't have any other nuggets. We don't have any deaths. So that just leaves us with ratings.
I have a delightful death in there somewhere.
Oh, shit, you're right. You know what? I did too, actually, and I forgot to write them down.
When did you eject?
Okay, so deaths would be delightfully dead for you, delightfully dead for me, and then I had a random ejection. I remember doing it, and I don't remember what it was for.
No, you did it stealthily because I didn't notice.
Okay, ratings, bro. Let's do it.
Sure,
What do you
let's
got?
do it. I'm going to give it a 6.
That's good. That's fair.
You know,
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It's Trek. It's got some silly dad jokes in it. It goes by really quick.
It does.
Like it seems to have a good pace. Yeah. You know, questionable special effects,
Super questionable.
some questionable plot, but you know.
Yeah.
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
I'll tell you what, like this is a really odd movie. Like I enjoyed it and did not enjoy it at the same time. It sucks, but I enjoyed it at the same time. Dad jokes, yep. I really feel differently about it after reading about it, you know? Which I sort of struggle with, like, if that should color, like, you know, what you think when you're kind of doing a whatever quasi rating.
Sure.
But you know,
that's up to you, I think.
I guess so. I don't know, for all the shit that Shatner's gotten, you know, like he was great at playing Kirk, and he's done some great stuff, man. And
yeah, he's a fascinating guy. I don't know.
Fascinating
if you listen
guy.
to any he was on Mark Maron's podcast.
Was
he? I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago or something, and it was fucking hilarious. Like
really,
it was like kind of self-aware, you know, about his Shatnerness, but but playing it, you know.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
He's an interesting guy.
Yeah, he is an interesting guy, and I like that he took a stab at directing, and I like that I read a little, like, a nugget that Sulu really didn't want to work with him because he didn't like him, you know, and then he convinced him to do it, and he said that being directed by him was actually a very pleasant experience.
Yeah.
So I was pretty psyched about that, and I like that he had a vision and he stuck to it, and I like that he fought for the vision afterward and didn't get it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's like kind of bonus points. I'm not going to throw that into my rating. I'm going to do my rating at a 6.5. So similar space.
Nice.
Yeah. In my comment from before, as strange as it is, I'm going to reiterate it. The movie's like crappy, but it holds up at the same time in its crappiness.
I know what you mean.
I think you do, right?
Yeah, and that goes all the way back to like my high level of like this is an enjoyable POS, you know, like it's in strangely entertaining despite the fact that it sucks.
It really is in its own unique kind of way too, you know, because we've done some other real pieces of turd. So yeah, it was fun to watch. It was fun to kind of go back in time with it, you know, even though it kind of blew, and kind of revisit it and see what's what with a fresh eye and an adult eye as well. So yeah, 6.5.
Yep.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah, I forgot to ask Chad what we were going to do for next week, so I haven't got a clue.
Well, it'll be a surprise for us and the listeners.
Ooh, there you go. Surprise for us. Great. So there you have it, folks. Next week, a surprise show yet to be determined. Yeah, there you go. Some crazy laughing to go with it.
Look, surprise.
Oh, that wacky Jarhigo, we never know what he's going to do next.
That was my Jokey Smurf impersonation.
Ooh, nice. I like it. There's a new incarnation of the Smurfs on Netflix that my kids watch.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So anyway,
is Jokey still giving people surprises that explode?
I believe so. Yeah. I have not been viewing as intently as I clearly should have been, but I will step it up.
Hey, do it.
Just for you and Jokey. Okay?
Do it.
Do it. Bacardi and cola.
Do it.
You're stealing my character. So there you have it, folks. Nice toof with me and Jarhigo. And we don't know what we're doing next week, so stay tuned for that. It'll be a surprise show. Hopefully you've seen whatever it is we're going to talk about. That's about it. Benny, any closing thoughts?
Wherever you go, there you are.
There you have it, folks. Wherever you go, there you are. And from all of us here at EBD headquarters, deep underground in Valverde, to all of you, a heartfelt so long. And we'll see you next week.
Good.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. If you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/ Boy, I get this wrong every week.
2:30.
What is it?
2:30.
230. There you have it, episode 230. If you would like to, well, firstly, let me back up. Firstly, we very much appreciate everybody that listens to the show and supports the show in the various different ways that they do. It means a lot to us, for sure. Rating us, reviewing us, talking the show up to your friends and your family. And then, of course, also contributing directly on Patreon. We appreciate all of it. And if you'd like to do so, those are the ways you can do it. Rate us and review us in your podcast app, or tell somebody that's a total nerd that likes to nerd out to check out our show. Or you can also contribute directly on patreon.com/EBD podcast. And we certainly appreciate it. And then, of course, as always, join us on Instagram. If you want to get on the social, we're on every social, but mostly that one. We use the handle @EBD Podcast, so join us. And that's it. Mystery show next week. Thanks for tuning in for Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. And certainly the final film ever to be directed by William Shatner. And that's it. We'll see you next time.
The final fun tier.
The final fun tier. All right. We'll see you next time.
Beady. Stop into it.